Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear platform. Every single day, each one of us is really conquering our own fears by looking at parts of ourselves that we can heal. And every single time I think I know or I've healed something, another sequence comes in to better really put me in a position where I can express a more fulfilled future. So in today's video, I will be discussing how to choose and pick your battles so you can sustain a healthy energy bank. Now, as an empath, what you have to understand is you are a very advanced soul that has reincarnated in a body, and your biggest gift is what may have been pulling you down for so long, and that is the feeling and the knowing that you can access energy of other people, other locations, and different things around you. So when you're able to go into a room and you automatically feel the energy of that location and you can feel good vibes or bad vibes, the minute when you're talking to a person and automatically you get an understanding of how they are feeling in that moment, and when you're in a crowd and you feel a level of energy that is beyond yourself, I want you for a moment to really tap into a level of gratitude, a level of infatuation, and really ask yourself, how is it that you're able to actually tap into energy that is not yours? And for one moment, I want you to ask yourself, is there a way for you to actually look at this and appreciate that hypersensitive part of yourself a lot more than the damage and the draining that this particular hypersensitivity has caused? When you move from victim into creator, you allow everything that your soul has signed up for in this lifetime to be used in an alchemic process of you realizing that every situation has been created by yourself, not to harm you or for you to feel guilty or feel like you're not good enough, but simply for your being to learn a unique lesson that would not have come up if you didn't experience that thought or that emotion or that trauma or that situation. Look at every single thing as if it's an indication system. When you feel an emotion, it is an indication system of the energy you're currently in and the unique emotion that you're currently vibrating in. And if we actually take a look at reality and we start to see the value in everything, we can move from wanting to avoid negative emotions into wanting to see the power behind negative emotions. And when you start seeing that positive and negative are not really good or bad, but just a different type of experience, and you being able to uncover a different part of your subconscious mind and your awareness, then you're moving into neutrality. And when you're in neutrality, you're really able to fully engulf yourself in what every experience has to offer you. And just from my personal experience, I'll tell you one thing. You know, I wasn't that big into astrology, but I did find out that I was a Scorpio moon. And a lot of friends did educate me on the fact that a Scorpio moon is one of the most highly sensitive and emotionally deep signs there is. So I realized that me and my strength are really composed of the ability that I have had to feel anger or feel a negative emotion to a level of intensity where I'm almost shocked at the magnitude of that emotion. When you allow yourself to fully embody an emotion, good or bad, what you're able to do is you're able to isolate what that energetic code is in that emotion. Every single thing in this universe is energy, and you can look at this universe as if it's a huge computer. So it being a huge computer, every single thing has a different coding that can allow it to show up. Energy creates matter. So when an energy has a particular code, it manifests in the physical field in a particular way. Everything is unique, everything has its own energy code. But we're not able to see the energy code if we're consistently looking at an experience based on what our previous egoic thought or emotion has to prove with that experience. If you want to see the value and the beauty in everything in life, detach from your ego and your mind long enough to actually look at the grass and look at the sand and really feel the different energy and the color and the level of electricity that everything is pulsating at. So use this neutrality when you're learning how to pick your battles, because as an empath, you have the innate ability to feel more than most people. You have the innate ability to have an heightened awareness and a greater understanding of what exists beyond your body. But most people, including myself as an empath, all I can tell you before I learned this was that my hypersensitivity makes me emotionally drained, it makes me too reactive, it makes me, I had this idea that because I was so sensitive that people wouldn't want to be around me. So I was using myself and I was looking at my hypersensitivity as something that was a nuisance. So we have to heal that and understand, just because you can feel more, it is time to make the decision to feel more of what you would like to choose to feel, and not just feel more of what is just happening in your life. So learn to pick your battles. Now I want to tell you one thing. When you are dealing with interpersonal relationships, and this might be a friend or a partner, I want you to understand that as an empath, it is very common for you to really care about what people may think of you, because you're consistently trying to improve the way you think about yourself. The external world and the internal world are the same exact thing. So the moment you realize that you're doing something, it is most likely that you're assuming somebody else is doing that exact same thing. So I want you to realize and release a judgment from yourself that you have to be perfect, that you have to be something than you are, because as you were growing up, you might have been told you're too sensitive. You're not too sensitive. You have an heightened awareness of yourself and the energy and the universe around you, more so than people that are not an empath. When you're in these interpersonal relationships, you have to accept people for who they are and where they are at. It is very important that you realize the way you think about something may not be the way somebody else thinks about that same topic. And because you are aware and feeling somebody's energy when you're talking into a person in an interpersonal relationship, and you're discussing and debating and talking about deep things, the minute you say something that the other person might not resonate with, you can instantly feel their energy change, and then you go, no, you might be misunderstanding me. So you put so much effort into trying to convince people to see it your way, because you want them to feel how you felt when you came into that realization. In that moment, realize that you don't have to react to every single situation or conversation that you have in an interpersonal relationship. You don't have to always be right. You don't always have to have people see your opinion, and other people seeing your opinion does not further validate your own belief that you are right. You have to move into a position where you start trusting yourself. Step 2 with learning how to pick your battles. When you're dealing with yourself and you're going through growth and you're understanding that you would like to move towards philosophies and teachers and content that actually brings out the potential that you have not seen yet in yourself, you start to become your own project. And although that is an amazing thing, the one possible downfall that I want to make sure you can swerve so it doesn't hit you is to not be so self-critical on yourself when you're trying to just be aware of what you would like to change. Pick your battles in the times you choose to feel guilty or feel shame or feel bad, because you may not have experienced something in the way you thought it was going to happen. You may have thought that now that you have learned a specific way of living, that you can now get over and not have to experience the same reoccurring situations. As an empath, because we're both in this position, we are always trying to redeem ourselves from the parts of our life where our empathic sensitivity on ourselves, the world, or others has really caused a level of tension and friction in our life that may have prevented us from actually moving forward. So let go of the redemption. Realize that everything had to happen in the exact way it had to happen for you to get to this point right now. Don't be so self-critical when you realize that you're judging yourself because you haven't grown as fast as you've wanted yourself to grow. Realize that, alchemize that, and realize what it really is saying on a more empowering scale, which is you just really care about your future and you think you deserve the best life. Step 3, learn to pick your battles when in the world. When you're in the world, decide what you really spend your energy on. Decide what you conversate about. Decide what you get upset about. Only choose to conversate in things that give you an equal or more energy exchange back. Now, I'm not saying you have to be in love and light and you have to only talk about empowering things and never talk about anything negative, because that is very unrealistic. And when you only go towards positivity and you avoid negativity, what ends up happening is you only experience 50% of what your emotional body and what this matrix has to offer. Because there is a lot of value in the negative things, because simply it's just a way of accessing a different part of ourselves internally through experiencing that stimuli in the external world. Choose to only participate and care about things that make you laugh, that make you grow, that stimulate you, that make you feel turned on, that make you feel as if you have a place in this world. And the place you have in this world is being a person that can fully enjoy this matrix and your body, and the idea that you're the creator, which is your soul, and you're the creation, which is your body. Move into a position where you're less judging on who you are and where you've come. Now, step 4 into learning how to pick your battles is understand that you don't have to get everything done in this very moment. If you have a list of things to do and your mind is always very intense and cluttered with having to do things a certain way, and when do you have to do these things? Because I also have experienced that. And when you are a hypersensitive empath, one of the most prevalent truths is that you feel your emotions much more intensely, which is amazing because emotions is one of the reasons why our soul has reincarnated us into this matrix. And also, you are more aware of yourself, and that is why you feel like you're overly emotional, because you just have more access in an understanding of what your subconscious mind is actually thinking, when most people are only aware of their conscious mind. Thoughts are energy, and energy attracts like energy. So whatever energy you're in, you're going to pull in a reflective reality in this 3D matrix. But 80%, a majority of our thoughts are subconscious. So as an empath, you're able to feel a feeling and then inquire upon why you're feeling that feeling, and that leads you to a subconscious belief that is really responsible for your internal world creating your external world. Take time, slow down. You don't always have to be doing something. You don't always have to be productive. When you're trying to figure out how to organize your life or a business or your day, make your plan, but do one thing at a time. Because as an empath, we have an issue understanding when to attach energy to something and when to not attach energy to something. So if you have 10 tasks that you're doing in a day, write them all out, but only attach your energy into the one thing you're doing in this present moment. Okay? I appreciate you guys taking part in this learning and explorative experience. Hopefully you can hear me. I have a new mic. I'm sitting on the side of a mountain and the wind is beautiful, but it is aggressive. I have a book coming out on how to go through a spiritual awakening as an empath, how to tap into your magical higher dimensional abilities through your hypersensitivity. I do one-on-one quantum coaching. I can search your akashic records and really allow you to understand how to evolve your soul and how to tap into the higher dimensional resonance that your soul class participates in on this earth long enough for you to help the high galactic beings and the reincarnation that you have had as a galactic being truly serve Earth and not disempower it. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Stay powerful, stay up, and keep living no matter what goes on. Everything will come out, the light will shine, just have hope. Alright, bye.